Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Bradley of Bradley Teaches, and welcome to Video Graphics for Restream Studio. So yeah, we're going to get started here in just a couple of minutes as usual. And today I have some good things for you. I've been getting a lot of feedback about different things, and we're going to start today with maybe a set of graphics that I think everyone will be able to use and enjoy. So yeah, jump on in, let me know that you're here. We're going to start officially in about a minute and a half. So let me know that you're here and what's going on with you. Let me know where you're coming in from. Let's close that up. But welcome, everyone. Again, I am Bradley Vincent of Bradley Teaches, and welcome to Bradley Teaches Video Graphics for Restream Studio. And most of the graphics we'll be making will be in Canva, but we can also jump into other apps like Keynote if you want to do some of that kind of stuff too. But today I have some good things that we're going to kind of walk through because I had some pretty good feedback on some things and some questions that came through. So I want to address those and kind of get you guys rolling in a good direction as far as making your graphics. I got my little trusty notebook paper here in front of me too, because I had some ideas for some things and I wanted to get your input. And we're going to rock and roll in about a minute. So come on in. Hey. I am doing well. How are you doing today? Good to see you. Welcome. Yeah, we're about to get started any second now. Actually, we can get started right now because it is 4:30 my time. So welcome. As I said before, I am Bradley Vincent of Bradley Teaches, and welcome to Video Graphics for Restream Studio. So we're going to go ahead and just get started because I know there's some things that I wanted to cover today. And what I wanted to do, because I had some questions that came in. So welcome. Let me go back to the chat screen here. And what I'll probably do is put the chat overlay on so I can talk to you guys and the chat will still rock and roll next to me. Well, y'all come on in. Appreciate that. Put on my graphics background. Throw that up behind me. There we go. Got that going. So come on into the chat here. Yeah, good to see you, Brother Riley. Come on in. Yeah, so what I am going to do today is some questions came through. Well, actually, weren't even questions. There's a lot of comments came through my DM and things like that concerning doing what I would call the stacked overlays, right? And I know I talked a little bit about that last week about how you can make a stacked overlay or a combo overlay so you can add additional elements and kind of work your way around not being able to use more than one overlay at a time to kind of create these stacked looks or have multiple elements on the screen at one time where you give the illusion that you're stacking elements, but it's essentially one overlay with many things in it. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit today and actually walk you through a process to do those because a lot of people were asking me about them. And I want to kind of talk a little bit deeper about that. Also, a question came up when someone was asking, hey, Facebook user, not sure who you are, but welcome. Someone else was asking about, oh, I lost my train of thought. Let's see. It'll come back to me. Yeah, but the stacked overlay was, oh, there we go, a run of show. So if you guys, even in the comments here, let me know like what kind of show you have and what kind of graphics you may need to use in your broadcast. And I want to walk through today. It'll be similar to what I've always done, showing you how to make stuff, right? But today I really want to dig in a little bit deeper and stay off the shallow area. We're going to go a little bit deeper today. So if you guys can kind of tell me what kind of broadcast you have and what kind of graphics you need for your type of broadcast, I'm going to walk you through creating some of those specific graphics that you may need for your broadcast. I know some people are asking me about the waiting screen and things like that, the end cap screen, and we're going to talk about the stacked overlay look. So we're going to create those things today. We're going to create them in Canva, but I want to get some interaction from you all so you can kind of help me out here and let me know what kind of graphics you need for your broadcast, and I can start to kind of create those and show you how to do them. So we'll be using Canva for that. And I remember, let me scratch down myself a few notes on that. So because I don't want to forget that. And we have the run of show graphics. Now, some people might not even know what a run of show is when we talk about run of show graphics. Awesome. Okay, we have a weekly football show. Okay, side info panel. All right, I'm digging that. Okay, side info panel. Okay, and so for your run of show for your weekly football show, so I would say you need your intro screen in your theme colors or whatever else. You need an overlay. You need a lower third for that. Maybe with your logo on the screen. So for your football show, tell me a little bit about the run of show, right? So you come on, you talk a little bit. Do you show like replays from the games or whatever else? Or do you just kind of talk about football? You bring graphics on. You probably need a kind of a sidebar info panel, is what I'm thinking, right? So let's jump into Canva right now and start kind of working through some of those things. And then I'll look at the chat as we go through and kind of create as we go, right? So let's go to Canva. Here we are in Canva here. All right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with some of these Restream overlays already made because we're going to kind of be doing some of that stuff, right? And we don't need that one. Okay, so let's say you have your single screen and your double screen for you and a guest, right? So I'm going to copy both of those. Let me copy both of these. Well, I'll just delete the ones I don't need. Okay, so here's the first screen here of just kind of your overlay, right? And so let's go here. We're going to go to, let's go to photos, and let's say sports. All right. That's a good one. Let's drag that one in there. So that's kind of a generic type of sports kind of thing, right? So you have that, and let's blow that up a little bit because we don't really need it to be that well defined, right? All right, so basic overlay, okay, updates for the parents and the players, and I have a guest to discuss them. Okay, awesome. All right, so you probably need something with the 2-window layout. So that would be a layout like this, right? And we're going to stick with that same overlay graphic for that. Let's go to the background back here. There you go. Talk about some sports things. Let's click that, adjust that, and kick up the blur on that. All right. So that's kind of your 2-window overlay for you and the guest. Show highlights in between. Okay. So here we have like a 2-window layout, easy layout. But now you want to add some elements to it, right? So I'm going to copy this one. We're kind of doing some generic type things first, right? So this is for you and your guest. And I'm going to copy that a couple of times. So you have you and your guest here. And what we're going to do on top of that, because we're going to create these kind of stacked looks. So now I'm going to use my elements. And we're going to make lower thirds for you and your guest. Right? So this will be kind of the second look for that layout. And I don't know really what your colors are, but we're going to go with a gold for that. All right. So now we can have our lower third built in as a second look. And let's double that because might want to put, your guest might actually have, uh-oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Your guest might actually have a name and title, right? So we'll go back here and let's make this bottom one thinner. All right, let's make it white too. Yeah. All right, so now we have our lower third name bars, right? Okay, well, let me select both of them. Okay, there we go. All right, group those. So now we're going to do that second one, right? And it has name bars on it. And so we'll copy these. So now that's another stacked version with the name bars on it for you and your guest, right? So if I took that one and copied it, So say you have the name bars on one, but then you might even have your logo, right? So now you can place your logo on it, or a segment title. So for this segment, we're going to talk about XYZ, right? So now you can have these different layouts. So you start with this one, then you have a stacked version, then you have one with the logo version, and you can kind of work your way through. So when you bring these into Restream now, you can start stacking these or showing these different overlays with the stacked pieces on them to give the illusion that you're stacking pieces on it. Okay, so we have now you and your guest sidebar, right? So you can do the sidebar with or without your frame on it, because someone mentioned a info sidebar. So let's go here. So now this is an info sidebar that goes outside the frame, right? And let's give this a color. We'll make it grayish blue, right? So here's an info sidebar, and you still have your frame. So if I went in here now and I added text to it, or you can even add your logo. So let's do this. All right, so then we'll add some additional text here. And now you can have your bullet points, right? So those are the 3 topics you're talking about that day, right? So all those things can be done. So that was your dynamic sidebar. So now you have I didn't copy that one, but I can copy it. So now you have your regular, let's delete all this stuff, your regular overlay, right? You have your regular overlay, then your sidebar version of the overlay. And we're going to go in and we're going to select this and delete it in each one so you can still have all your overlay elements, right? Now, even if you wanted a animated opening or a static opening, those can be done also. So say, for instance, we're going to use that same kind of, let's do this. We're going to use that same graphic theme that we were using before. Oh, where'd it go? So now you can kind of work out how you want everything to look, right? So now you have your graphics theme for the cover. And let me lock that down. So now you can create a be right back screen. Take a break or something. Oh, I typed. So as simple as that, right? You can have an I'll be right back screen. I don't like how that's spaced out. So let's go here, knock down that line spacing. Right. Add a shadow on it. Nope, not that one. That's not what I wanted. There we go. Right. So you could put that on the screen while you're away, or you can even put a show is about to begin screen, all those kind of different things, right? You could also animate this. So if I wanted to do a video background, so let's go to another slide. And we'll go here and delete that element. Oh, let's do another blank slide. Let's go to more, videos, and let's go sports again. Let's see. I don't like none of these. Okay, let's go back to just general. So as you see here, this video is 29 seconds. I'm not going to add any audio today because that's an issue we had before, right? So I'm going to go back here and we're going to, let's do this. We're going to, let's lock that. And we're going to add a color screen on top of it. All right, so now we have that more green, right? And so now we can do a show begins animation. So if I go back here, right? So position backwards. Let's do the video and unlock it so we can play with it. Position that backwards. Okay. And so that would be playing before your show begins, right? And it's 29 seconds. You can set it on a loop and then that can play, right? And so these are all the different things you can do for your run of show graphics. So now you have a rough countdown, or not a countdown, but a waiting screen. You have your basic overlay. You have your overlay with the sidebar. You have your guest overlay, right? You have your guest overlay with lower thirds on it. And you have a guest overlay where you can add topics, add your logo and things like that. And so as you kind of work through your run of show, you can kind of create that timeline of the type of graphics you need and put all those together ahead of time. So even for this one, for instance, right, you have this set up. You can just copy this multiple times, change the colors, put your name here, and put your name in both of them, right? Then when you get ready, just copy that out, add in your guest name, resave it, delete the rectangle. Now you have that overlay for you and your guest. And you can just use this as a template inside of Canva to reuse over and over and over. And then this one can just stay in Restream. And it's always there because it's the plain version, right? So those are kind of different ways you can do that through the run of show. Now let me go back because I don't really like that text. So go back to text. And I'm going to export a couple of these out though. And these can be as plain or as designed as you want it, right? I'm just doing kind of a quick version here. So there you are. Basic sidebar, basic overlay with the sidebar. And you can kind of use these throughout your broadcast. They would. Yes, appreciate that. Yeah, but these graphics will work in any streaming app that will take PNG files, right? So yes, it would work in Ecamm, it would work in OBS, it would work in Restream. All these graphics are pretty standard no matter what streaming app you're using. Most all of them will use PNGs, which allow for transparency, which is the cutout that you want, right? And what I'm going to do here, I am going to download number 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't need number 6. Let's delete number 6. Yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We don't need number 8. Let's delete number 8. Okay, so I'm gonna download all these pieces. 2, 3, 4, 6, and 7. Let's download those first. So download. And we're gonna have to do JPEGs because we need to make those cutouts. So 100% quality. So 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Done. Download. Then we're going to download the video that says broadcast begins soon. Now, all of these things are not overly designed. I just want to show you what you can do, right? That's fine. And now what we're going to do is we're going to download the video from number 5. But what we want to do here, let's do this real quick. That should have been a video. Yeah, it's the video. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. All right. Yeah, there we are. So that's the video. We're good with that. And as you see here, the video is playing so we can see it. All right. So now let's bring that back into position. And we're going to download number 5 as a video. So MP4 video, and we're going to do number 5. All right, so now we have most of the pieces that we can use for our rough run of show. Now we already don't have the ending graphic, like come back and see us next week. Here's our other videos, things like that. We don't have a call to action, which may be a lower third you want to use, right? That talks about other parts of the show. And so all those things can still be created. So even while that's downloading, let me go back to this one and let's copy it. No, we just make a new one. All right. So let's go with a new slide. And now what we want to do is we want to make a lower third still in the theme. So we can do a lower third on this, or we can do just kind of a blank screen that has a lower third. And I'm thinking I want to do a blank screen with a lower third in it. So I'm going to go here, I'm going to type in frames. Because essentially what I want to do is I want to have that basketball or that sports picture as my lower third graphic. Let's call that number 2. It's all right. All right. So I'm going to go down here, put that at the bottom like that, and go back to photos. And I want to use that graphic as my lower third. So adjust that, kick up the blur a little bit, right? And because that I'm using the frame option, I now have the ability to put a picture in it and things like that. And so I can even combo this thing up a little bit, go back to elements and turn off frames to get basic shapes. Go back here. I'm not gonna put any text in it for right now, but you kind of see what I'm talking about, right? So we can go here, change the color of that. Let's use that gold again. And that blue is fine, but don't want to do black. We want to do a color that doesn't really match any other color. So maybe that blue is fine. Well, no, let's do this. Let's do light gray. All right. So that's just a lower third graphic, right? So somebody said the screen is blurry. Is the Canva desktop screen blurry? Now the graphic I put on it, I made that to be blurry. So let me know if that's what you mean by this little graphic, or is everything blurry? Because I need to know that real quick too. Might be something with the connection. All right, so let's export this, which is number 4. So let's download. We got a lot of stuff we're downloading. All right, so page number 4, and that's going to be a JPEG. Quality 100, download. Okay, so this is kind of how you would do a run of show when you're trying to figure out, okay, for my run of show, here's all the graphics I need for my broadcast. Now, a lot of these can be reused, especially if you lay them all out like I have here, all my slides laid out that I may be using, right? So now if I go back in, I change out the text, I change out the graphics even, but I have the rough look that I want for my broadcast. So all these things can be redone because I saved that template. But now we're going to go into my download, out of focus for a better description. So are you saying I'm out of focus? Is everything out of focus? Because it's clear on my screen right now. So, and anybody else let me know if it's out of focus for you all also, because I can also check a couple other things. All right, so let's go to documents. All right, so we're going to start with the last one first. And we're going to open these up in Photo P. So let's go to Photo P and open up the first document. All right, so what I want to do here first is, as always, go to Magic Wand, click on the gray, delete the gray, and now File, Export as PNG, and save it. So that one's good. Let's close that. So now we're going to go over here now and open up the other documents. And here's number 6. Now the background will be a little bit blurry because I was making them blurry, right? But if the picture of me is blurry, okay, cool. That's what I was thinking. All right, yeah, the background image I blurred, but if I'm blurry, that's going to be a different issue. Okay, so here we are back in Photo P, and let's get these other gray boxes deleted. This is part of our stack design. So export as PNG, save that one. All right, we have number 7. This is all just kind of part of the process, right? And this is things that you would do pre-show. This is you saying, I know what my show is going to be like, and I am creating all my graphics to be ready for my broadcast. So save this one. Close that. Now we have the single layers on a screen by myself. Uh-oh. Tolerance down to 7. Let's do half of that. There we go. It's a better tolerance. All right, so file, export as PNG, save. That one's good. All right, 2 more, y'all. Won't be too much longer. All right, then I'm gonna show you all these, how they all work in Restream Studio. So 4. Oh, that's already good. We don't need nothing on that one because that's going to be a full screen graphic. And then number 2. All right, let's do this one. All right, then file, export as PNG. All right, so now we're all done. I'm going to go back into Restream Studio now. And we put your comments on the screen while I'm working this out. And I can read those while we're going. All right, so let me go back to graphics and let's add these graphics. All right. And these should all load fairly quick. And I'll step you kind of through them too, right? 6. Then number 3. Then we have the lower third, number 3. And then we're going to add the video clip for the I'll be right back. Where'd that go? There we go. All right. Okay, so good. All right, so what we're going to do now, the video is processing, right? So let's go back to, let me turn the chat screen off and let's work these graphics. Okay, so, oh, I didn't add my full screen graphic. One more graphic. Where'd you go? Okay, so I would start with this, right? And that runs for 30 seconds, but I'm not going to let it run the whole 30 seconds, right? So then I could start with a plain screen. I have my lower third, right? And I can add the text in there or whatever else. This is all kind of themed. I have my basic frame. So I'm talking about sports and stuff like that. And then today we're going to talk about, so now that comes on the screen and the background or the initial frame doesn't move, but it gives the illusion that I just added a sidebar, right? Right. So I just turn the sidebar on and off to give the illusion that it was stacked, but it's not even really stacked, right? So then I bring my guest on. Me and the guest are here and we're talking. We start off with the guest's name and my name, but then as we proceed with our talking, we turn that off and we keep on talking, right? And so you have all those different things. Can go back to me. We can now refer back to the sidebar elements, go back to that. Oh, I have another topic I want to talk to you about. And again, I am Bradley Teaches, and my topic is down here, right? But you know what? I got to leave for a second. So I'll be right back, right? So you have, as you kind of create those and think about your run of show, you can develop that from basically 1 or 2 graphics, right? So you make your very first layout. That's kind of your master layout with your master graphic. And then you just start to cut out windows out of it, add a sidebar on top of it, add your logo on top of it, add a lower third on top of it. But now you have multiple graphics that are stacked or the illusion of stacked as you march through your broadcast, but they're all just kind of bundled type of overlays. So as you remember, right? So I have the plain overlay. That's 2 windows. I have a copy of that overlay because I'm going to turn it off and turn another one back on. That's the overlay with the lower thirds on it. But if I turn those on and off, it just looks like the lower third is being turned on and turned off, right? I have the Be Right Back screen, same graphic, just with text in it. Have the single window graphic, right? And I can turn on the sidebar and turn off the sidebar by just turning on those 2 different overlays. But it gives the illusion that I'm only turning on the sidebar, right? So you have all those different things you can kind of work on as you work through your show. So hopefully these things are helping. Let me know if this is kind of helping you any. Cool. All right. Because this is kind of what I'm trying to help you think through as you make your graphics, right? So you get into Canva or whatever else, and you start to make your graphics, think about your whole run of show as you're doing it. And then after you establish that look, it can be repeated. Things can be redone, right? Or you can have a certain look, then just change the color for a seasonal change or something like that. Yeah, I'm actually using Canva. And maybe you didn't want to say the word Canva. I don't know. Yeah, but I'm using Canva for all of this to cut the rectangles out to subtract that gray box that leaves the window. I'm using Photo P for that. But this is all free software. I'm using free elements that are widely available in the free version. So, yeah. So hopefully these things are helping you all out. So we did a little intro screen. We did the overlays. We did the lower third. We did the different multiple frames because people were asking about that last week when I mentioned it about the stacking um, idea of overlays when you can't really have more than one overlay on the screen at the same time. You can create the illusion of stacking by duplicating one overlay, then adding more things to it and resaving it. So those are all ways you can do it. Awesome, man. Cool. That's what I want to hear. Yeah, but kind of think about your run of show like that and think about the things you may need. Because if you're always using a sidebar, make a design with the sidebar, make your text the way you want to make the text, and then just go change out the text and resave it, right? Now, all these are really quick, really basic looks, right? I'm not, trying to do curved corners and do all the kind of cool stuff like that. So you can really explore that. Yeah, I can definitely show you some things in Keynote. So you want to make, I'm guessing if you want to use Keynote, you want an animated sidebar. And that's kind of like what we talked about last week, right? That um, we can do a video as an overlay in Restream, but we can't do a video with transparency in it. But I can definitely show you how to do a sidebar in Keynote and even animate it. So I can show you that real quick too. That's not a problem at all. Make sure I'm not missing anybody's questions. But definitely, I'm going to show you a comment one more time. Definitely, you can send me what you're working on in an email, and I can check that out too. Maybe we can even workshop that out here live. Let's see. All right, so let's do this real quick because you did ask about Keynote. Let me go to Keynote here. Thank y'all for hanging with me. Yeah, I think if you put the link here, it's not necessarily private. Everybody else will be able to see it. So if you don't mind other people seeing the link, because if you put the link in the comments, everybody else will see it. So maybe DM it to me. And if this is who I think it is, Coach Frenchie, you may not be Coach Frenchie though, but DM it to me. And I'm just Bradley Vincent, or Bradley Teaches on Facebook. So you can DM it to me. We can work it that way too. All right, y'all. So let's go to Keynote. And here we are in Keynote. And I'm going to do a quick sidebar now. Okay. Yeah, it is Coach Frenchie. Yeah. So yeah, just put it in here then. If you don't mind us looking at the link, I'll click on the link and workshop it out. So here we are in Keynote. Now, remember everyone, this is Mac only. Now there is a online version of Keynote that is available to PC users, but you can't export in all the multiple formats that you can from the Mac version. So please keep that in mind. But if you're a Mac user, this is you. If you're a PC user, kind of bear with me for a second, because Canva is universal for everybody. Keynote is Mac specific. So let's do this real quick. New presentation. I'm going to select all the elements and delete and go to background color fill, no fill, because we're going to create kind of a sidebar type thing, right? Cool, cool. Appreciate you, Oliver, for coming out, man. I know you got to go. Yeah, appreciate you for being here. And hopefully if you have any questions and things you're working on, just let me know, man. And I'd love to help you out. All right, so we have the shape, sidebar, put a color on it. And most of the sidebars I want them less than 1/3 of the width of the screen. And I'll zoom out a little bit. So in its basic sense, that sidebar is already done, right? But I'm going to go here. Let's go to object list, and I'm going to add some text. And we're going to have this as one big element this time, right? Color, I'll fix the color in a second. All right, topic 1, topic 2, topic 3. All right, so we'll make these white. Oh, didn't need that extra bubble. All right. All right, so we have that basic kind of look, right? Now we're going to animate this in a real basic way. So we have the two elements here. I'm going to select both of those and I'm going to group them, right? So now we're going to animate the group. So I'm going to go to group, click group, go to animate, build in, and we're going to have it move in. And we're going to do right to left with a bounce, 1.5 seconds. And let's preview. There we go. No bounce. That's kind of cheesy. All right, but that's it. That's a basic sidebar. Make the rectangle, put an animation on it, and I'll show you that one more time. There you go. A moving sidebar. So this won't work in Restream, but someone asked me about doing an animated sidebar for maybe using in another application. So as of right now, we can't do this in Restream. Now, if I exported this as a video without transparency, I could do it in Restream. And so let's do that as an example for right now. So we just have the bar sliding in. We go to File, Export to Movie. And we're not going to do an Apple ProRes movie because we want it to be transparent. But I guess that doesn't matter. It's going to still be black in Restream. So let's go ahead and do that. And desktop, call it BV, export. Okay, so that's a basic movie in for Restream Studio. So let's go back to Restream Studio. All right, let's go to graphics. And this will be a video clip now, right? It's not an animated overlay, but instead it's a video clip. Now, the thing about Restream Studio, when you use a video clip, it will mute your microphone as the host or the talent that's on screen, right? So you always have to remember that when you're doing video elements, it's going to mute you. So you can always put music in them and other sound in them, right? Because it will do that. Right. So that's the basic sidebar sliding out thing. Right. So if it had transparency, that would be allowed. You see that sidebar slide out and I would still be behind it. But that's an element that right now is not available with Restream. But that is a simple way to make a sidebar in Keynote. Now, if you did a solid screen, you can do a sidebar kind of animation that just kind of slides out with text on it, but it would be a full screen video. You can also do that in Canva, right? So those are different elements that you can actually use for that. All right, let me go back to chat, make sure I didn't miss anything. Let's see. I'm not sure what you're asking. Kind of rephrase that for me. Let me know what you're asking right there, and I can help you out with that. Let's see. Cool. Yeah, so that was a little taste of Keynote today. I know that the audience is cross-platform and maybe even mostly PC people. That's why I don't actually teach Keynote things within uh, this video graphics for Restream Studio lives that I do. But I do other tutorials on Keynote and other applications, but I wanted to stick with the cross-platform stuff for this. All right, y'all. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody. So hopefully that run of show kind of graphic idea or graphics idea helped y'all out. Let me know if it worked all right for y'all and if it's actually something that is usable. Let me know some other graphics you might be thinking about, and I can try to work those out for you real quick too. Let's see. The run of show. Yeah, I really think that run of show kind of thing would kind of help you get those ideas going, right? Because as you think about your show as a whole, you can kind of think about where those graphics could be placed in it, right? And static or animated, depending on which streaming software you use, where those graphics can be used, and also how that plays out into your stream, right? And so I really think that could work out for you. Um, Oh, keep the sidebar there, then remove the text and add more subjects. Yeah, the way you could do that. Now, this is something that would need to be done in an application streaming app that has a text overlay option, right? So it would probably work better with an app like that. Now, you could, just like, from lack of a better way of walking through it, but let me do this real quick, because as we just talked about, right, we did the stacked overlay. So we had this overlay, then we stacked it with this overlay, right? You could do the same thing in this kind of format. So you start off with this sidebar. So imagine this sidebar, if you can think with me. Imagine a sidebar, and it only says, in today's show, we'll cover. Then you have another overlay that says, in today's show, we'll cover topic 1. And then you have another overlay that says, in today's show, we will cover topic 1 and topic 2, right? And so then you would make those individual slides or overlays, so to speak, and then stack them up or turn them on in succession. And the text of one would leave and the text of the other one would show up. And I can probably do that really quickly for you. Let's just do this real quick. Let's go back into Photo P since we have this here, right? So let's say this is the grand total version. I'm going to copy this 3 times. Let's go down here. This is going to be quick and dirty because we're not really doing it in Canva, right? So let's go to layer 1, and I'm going to draw a rectangle. And let's get the eyedropper, and pick that gray color. And then, okay, so that's the first one, right? So turn that off. Then the second one would be this plus that. So let's go to marquee, and we'll turn off the other 2. Right. So then the third one would be, so first one, second one, third one, right? And we'll do one more in there. So first, second, third would be topic 1 and topic 2. And then third one would be topic 3, right? So they actually run in this order. All right. So they go like this. First slide, second slide, third slide, fourth slide. So you could run them that way as overlays. Let's turn this one off. Got too much stuff going on, right? So you could run them that way. So in my streaming app, like Restream Studio, this would be an overlay. Then that would be an overlay. Then this would be an overlay. Then that would be an overlay. And you could also do it where nothing shows but that, right? So it says in today's show, topic 1. Then topic 1 would disappear, and then topic 2 would show up. Then topic 2 would disappear, then topic 3 would show up. You could give the illusion of that by having a stacked overlay where everything is the same except the parts that you don't want to see, if you kind of follow with me on that. So let's say number 3 is already ready. So let's go here. I'm going to go to number 2. Let's say File, Export as PNG. Then we'll turn that off. And we'll say File, Export as PNG. Then we'll do the last one. File, Export as PNG. Now it's only exporting the one that I want because it's the only one that's visible, right? That's what you're going to run into with Photo P. All right, so let's go back here. And I got to go find all those graphics. All right, so let's go to Downloads. And they may be a little bit out of order when I use them, but I just wanted to kind of show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so we start off like this, right? Then we say, in today's show, we'll cover topic 1, topic 2, topic 3. So you can do it that way, right? And you could also do it where topic 1, topic 2, topic 3, each one disappears as the other one comes on. Just got to save that overlay to have those elements in it. So as I said before, you start off with the basic overlay, right? Then this is a copy of that one with just that first piece of text on it. That's copied with just that piece of text on it. That's copied, just that piece of text. And finally, that piece of text. And when you're all done, go back to the plain one again. So that's one way to do it in Restream Studio. Yeah, you can do a 4x4 layout in Restream Studio, and in Zoom, you can't put, okay, you would have to bring Zoom into Restream Studio, and it would basically be a screen share, or it would, in Restream Studio, it'd be considered a single camera or a single view, right? It wouldn't be 4 cameras. It would be a screen share that happened to have 4 video windows in it. And yes, you could lay over on top of that a 4 window overlay, right? So that's if you could bring Zoom into Restream as a camera or as a share screen or whatever else. So if you did that, and then you're using your version of Restream to rebroadcast that out to everyone, you can then use Restream elements as the graphics on top of that. The downside of Zoom and a couple of things is whoever's controlling the broadcast can make you have a name bar. So once you mouse over the screen, the name bars would show up, and depending on how big or small you made the openings, it would cover them up. If you try to do a custom lower third or a custom name bar, and you go into Zoom as a virtual cam, that black bar that's built into Zoom would override your bar and still show up. There's no way to have that bar not show up at all in Zoom because it's not necessarily controlled by anyone. But what you can do is do a name that's as short as possible. Like I've done my name as just the @ sign, but then I make a custom lower third that has some black and grays in it that would blend in, and it just kind of be at the symbol that's in Zoom that I couldn't do anything with. And then I'd have Bradley Teaches or hashtag Bradley Teaches. So there's ways to make graphics for Zoom to work, but with not having as much control over Zoom's look, it's hard to have things that would always work with it. So yeah, so it's possible, but Zoom is not the optimum application for using custom graphics with. Let's see. All right. And let's go back to my standard overlay, my little Restream Bradley Teaches overlay. I like that one. All right, y'all. So I'm going to check back with the chat here, see if you guys have anything else you need. And we're about to shut this thing down for today. Hockey Nation or Coach Frenchie, you didn't send me maybe it's in my DMs. I didn't check my DM to see if you had it there. And maybe we'll end this session with that. Let's see. See if it's in my DMs. Nope, not in my DMs, Coach. Yeah, so send that out to me, and I will definitely work on that for you. All right. All right, y'all. I think we're about to wrap it up for the day. I definitely appreciate y'all being here. Let's see. Where can you find me? The best place to find me is probably on YouTube as Bradley Teaches, but you can also go to, I'll type that in here. Visit bradleyteaches.com. That's my main website. And on there, you can go to my YouTube channel from there, go to the Gumroad store from there, reach out to me if you need coaching or consulting from there. So that's my main website. But thank you for asking. Yeah, appreciate y'all. So yeah, we're about to wrap up another day. As you noticed, there was no form this week for you guys to fill out because we wanted to kind of keep it where it's interactive and here on the spot. Now, if you do have questions, the form is still available, but it depends on where you are watching this video at. If you are watching it on the Restream channel, the form may not be linked there. But if you're watching it on one of my personal channels, the form will probably be linked in those. Also, you can always DM me. You can always just visit the website and shoot me an email. Just type in Restream Studio as a subject and ask your questions. But then as always, you can come here live and ask your questions, which I also enjoy because it gives me something to kind of think about and workshop out right here on the spot. So I always enjoy live questions too. So keep those coming as always. But I thank y'all for coming out. Hey man, it's always good seeing you. Yeah, you be safe also. All right, Coach, good to see you. All right, y'all. I think we are good. Yep, the 2x2 is good. Okay, y'all. So thank y'all for your time. Thank y'all for hanging out with me today. Until next week. Maybe not next week. I might have a scheduling issue. I'll let y'all know. So until next time, I am Bradley Benson of Bradley Teaches. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. Be blessed, be free, y'all. Have an awesome day, awesome week. Until I see y'all again. And keep on creating. Keep creating, y'all. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.